together about what we wanted to talk about, we were thinking to each other, what is it that we really appreciate about each other? So these are real things. I could say, kids, your dad works in a job that he doesn't always like because it gives him flexibility in a schedule that allows him to spend more time with us, and he knows spending time with the family is more important than money. And actually, I did say that because the kids were kind of complaining about this, that, and the other thing, and that was really a response that I had given them, because I do appreciate the fact that Todd chooses a job that allows him flexibility to spend more time with us.
It's not a glamour job by any means, but hey, it's a job.
Nobody has a glamour job. Another compliment, but with the added ingredient of having been given through a third party, this is something else. This can be sometimes even more powerful. When you give a compliment like, thank you for dinner.
Yeah, like when I say, thanks for dinner.
Thanks for dinner.
Thanks for dinner. It was great, even if it was hamburger helper. And it's not the gourmet meal.
I don't cook hamburger helper. If we're having it, he's cooking it.
Hey,
that stuff stinks.
It's good stuff.
But seriously, when you're giving a third-party compliment, so I'm talking to my kids and I'm giving their dad a compliment, but through them. So I'm kind of doing a twofold thing. Not only am I telling the kids, I'm showing them exactly how much I love and respect their dad, but I'm also giving my husband a compliment. So sometimes it's a good idea to give a compliment to someone else in front of the person that you're giving a compliment to. Mm-hmm. So thank you for lunch yesterday. It was great having time together, especially when you're so busy. Or thanks for taking the trash out. Just simple things, and just little things will just build up and really just build your spouse up, because that's what we're here for. We're here to just build each other up.
Encouragement is big.
Mm-hmm. And encouragement has a big impact in marriage.
Yeah, it does.
He read this.
Well, it is encouragement for myself,
right,
and anybody in a relationship. You need to have that encouragement. You need to have that sense of, my spouse really notices me. He or she cares, and it's very important to have that encouragement in anything.
Well, the actual word encouragement means to inspire, and to inspire someone, to inspire your spouse is just really, through encouragement, is just, can really just have a huge impact. As a husband or wife, it is within our power through our words, whether spoken or written down, to bring out our partner's full potential. And last week, Teresa and Les shared an email back and forth between them, and I think, one of the big powerful things about that is sometimes you don't always have the right words and you can't get it out, hence me tonight, but you just really want the time to take your time, write down exactly all of your thoughts, and make sure they're organized and put together. So sometimes an email or a letter can really give you the opportunity to do that. The other thing it does is it really gives your spouse an opportunity to read something uninterrupted. And so, really writing your thoughts down can be one really great way to get across good things. So it's also one of those things that it really builds their self-esteem. And if words are our husband or wife's most important love language, being affirmed like this on a regular basis will renew their sense of feeling loved. And you'll be surprised at how many more things they'll do for you. So when I'm building my husband up constantly, and I don't do it just to get things out of him, I do it because I know that that's what I really need to do to make him feel respected and to make him feel loved and to make our marriage better. But I notice when I'm giving him physical touch or I'm giving him words of affirmation, the floor gets vacuumed more often, the laundry gets folded, so he's more willing to do things.
You can really vacuum as she's patting my back. There's the physical touch. You're doing a great job, It works out. Just kidding.
Stop it.
Okay. The second one we're going to talk about tonight is receiving gifts. And presents are visual symbols of love. They communicate strongly on an emotional level. And if you're a natural spender, this means of expressing love won't be too difficult for you. So if you like to go out and spend lots of money and just, hey, we're going shopping, that is going to be easy for you. But however, if you're a natural saver, you may find it more of a challenge. If you don't buy non-essential things for yourself, you probably won't think spending money on your husband or wife either. So,
I have to tell you, when I first did this test, receiving gifts was the lowest on the poll. I mean, right below physical touch, and now it's not, it's like number 3.
So you think of it as, like for all of us that are natural savers that are kind of, worried about, spending money. Spending money on, like as a gift doesn't have to be, well, I'm going to go buy the wife a new car today just so she'll
Be happy.
be happy. Physical touch, I don't know. You don't have to do that. You just think of it as an investment. I've gotten flowers out of the rose garden in the backyard for Candace, and with a little note saying, I love you, I think you're awesome. Little tiny note, little flower, there's a little gift, And it still has that high value and a visual symbol of love. Don't wait only for special occasions. It doesn't have to only be on birthdays, anniversaries, or even Christmas. Just, out of the blue. And that's something that I had to get used to doing a little bit better, because I would wait for it's the anniversary's coming up next week, I better get some flowers or whatever. Now it's like, she's had a rough day this week with her job. I would give her a flower or something, or some sort of gift.
Cool, I'm getting flowers. But you know what? I do want to say one thing about that, though. And it says don't wait for special occasions. But if you happen to have someone with a love language of gifts, those are really important times. So don't miss out on those times.
Absolutely.
So
that's exactly right. Spontaneous and unexpected presents can be a fantastic and make someone feel very special in love, just like you said. And that is important. So, for example, if your husband or wife is going through a particular difficult time, a present can say, I understand. I care about you. I'm with you in this difficult time. I know what you're going through. Here. Or if there's an achievement to celebrate, could mean, hey, you just graduated from college. I'm so proud of you. Wow, that's cool. Here, that's a little gift for you. It's a new car. No kidding.
I'm getting a new car and
No,
flowers.
wait, don't get crazy. Actively discover what your partner likes to receive. Obviously, it needs to be within your budget. And if you are hoping for a Rolex watch or a diamond ring every month, you may be disappointed. Think back to things your husband or wife has said they especially liked over the years, for yourself and for others. For example, maybe tickets to a football game, or some place to go out and eat, or football game. Next year, of course, because this year's not.
Yeah.
Consider whether your husband or wife likes very practical presents or more decorative things, or if they enjoy collecting something in particular, like little knickknacks or something. The best present givers are those who find out what the other person likes rather than giving them what they would like. So, with that being said, you can't, guys like myself, I can't go get Candace a new prop for the boat and say, here, hon, makes a great paperweight. I know you'd love it. Fits on your desk just perfect. No, that's what I want probably is a prop, but not Candace. You gotta draw the line there too.
Well, and the other thing is that, since I'm sort of more of a gift person, I can tell you it's really not about the actual gift, but it's the thought that it took to go get that specific gift. For instance, if I don't happen to collect little angels and he buys, and I'm not a knick-knacky person, if he buys me all these little knick-knack things, then I know that he really didn't spend a lot of time thinking about something. I mean, not that I don't appreciate the gift, and I think that's nice, but it's really about, not just about giving an arbitrary gift, it's about giving something to someone that they really would appreciate, and really putting a lot of thought into that. So just one other little thing.
And let's move on to the third thing, which one of my favorites is physical affection or touch, and it's a very particularly powerful communicator of love in a marriage. And Gary Chapman writes, to touch my body is to touch me. To withdraw from my body is to distance yourself from me. And boy, that is so powerful for me. When Candace comes and gives me a hug and she can tell, she can sense I'm having some rough time, they're just like, whoa, the burden is lifted. Like, thank you so much. I love that. It communicates love where it's given and rejection where it's withheld. And that's that other fine line when you're a physical touch person. If you feel like you're not getting your physical touch from your partner, you can sometimes feel rejected. And you shouldn't feel that way, guys, because just because that's my top love language and it's not my spouse's love language, I shouldn't have to punish her for that. And I shouldn't have to feel, man, what's wrong with you? Don't you understand? I could use a hug. Come on.
But on the other hand, I have to recognize that even though we just use that example, when I come home from a trip, really honestly, I'm exhausted. And, this last trip I took, actually, I went through the snow, so my joints were hurting from sitting there like this, driving over snow. And the last thing I really want to do is to spend a lot of close time with him. But I also know that he needs that physical touch. So as much as he can't feel rejected when I don't, I also need to be able to say, you know what, I know this isn't really what I want right now, but this is what he needs, and so, I need to give a little too.
Touch that communicates love can be shown in lots of ways. Some is non-sexual and some is sexual. For example, holding hands, an arm around the waist, a kiss, a hug, a hand on the hand, a brush of the body as you pass, a back massage, all sorts of little...
I think I'm going to go to the physical touch side.
Both sexual touch and non-sexual touch are vital between husband and wife. We need to be aware of the way our desire for touch can be expressed differently. So imagine the situation where a husband and a wife have been apart for a few days and then are back together again. So, for example, the wife may want to hug her husband, kiss him, and talk to him to feel close to him again. The husband, on the other hand, may want to make love to his wife as soon as possible in order to feel close to her again. And that's how it was for us.
That's exactly how it was and is.
Yeah, well, I've backed down a little. Mm-hmm. The results of these different desires can be that she feels hurt because she thinks he's got a one-track mind, and he feels rejected because she's not very responsive. Boy, that is just it right there. Mm-hmm. I used to feel like that. I used to feel rejected. And Candace used to think all I had thought about was that, Well,
and one of the things for me, I think, was that I didn't realize that he really felt rejected, and he really wasn't able to articulate that to me, to say, I feel rejected when you don't, show to me physical affection. And I couldn't understand, why is it that you always just want to have sex when really it's not just about that. It's just his way of feeling close to me again. He used to joke about the fact that there would have to be all the planets in line and
stars just right.
Stars just right. Yeah.
That's right. Where are the planets right now? As a result, they can stop showing each other any physical affection at all.
If there's anyone here who knows.
If that husband's primary love language is touch, he can easily confuse that with his desire for sex. It's a fine line. It may be hard for him to distinguish from one or the other. If his wife backs off from giving him physical affection, he doesn't just feel frustrated sexually, but more importantly, he can actually feel depressed and unloved. Mm-hmm. We experienced that.
Yeah, we have. Mm-hmm. We have. I think the good thing about us now is that we actually have some terminology to use, just that knowledge of, and like I said, it doesn't always have to be serious. It can just be kind of a funny thing, like, quality time, or, for him, physical touch. So it's just kind of a funny thing that we do to each other. It doesn't always have to be that serious.
That's right. So here, if you haven't come from a physically affectionate family, this whole area of touch may be, difficult, but it's a vital part of an intimate relationship, and we can all learn this language of love. In times of crisis, touch will be very important to those whom this is their primary love language. Tender gestures will speak volumes at the time and be remembered long after the crisis is past.
What's really funny is I come from a very physically affectionate family. Nobody gets out of our house without a hug. I mean, like full out, big hug. Todd's family, on the other hand, isn't that affectionate. So it's funny that we really kind of came out of different...
I don't know where I came from, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
So we're going to take a few minutes, guys, for you guys to kind of talk to each other and figure out...
we went over...
just the first three, right?
Right. And then we're going to give you just a few minutes to kind of talk with each other, just to kind of see where you are on the first three, and then we'll go over the next two, and then we'll have the exercise.
Yep. So take some time,
about
guys.
10 minutes, and we'll get back with you in about 10 minutes.
That works.
So did anybody come up with any conclusions so far? Any surprises? A little bit? Okay.
Surprise.
I feel like I'm really loud. Okay. I'm loud normally, so... Now I'm really loud. Thanks. So we're going to go over the last two love languages, and the first one I'm going to talk about is quality time, and I like talking about this one because it's my favorite.
Yeah.
It is my primary love language, but I want to tell you about a story that Gary Chapman tells about a couple who came to see him. So both husband and wife worked out of the home. The man had a bad back. Despite that, he did all he could when he got home from work to express love to his wife. He cooked, he cleaned, he looked after their garden. And so he tells Gary Chapman, he says, "She still says she feels that there is no love in our marriage. What does she expect from me?" Gary turned to his wife, who said, "I wish you would stop doing things and just sit down with me each evening just to talk." I imagine if it came to a great relief to him. He felt through actions he was showing her love, but really it's quality time that she needed. Quality time does not just involve physical proximity, but involves focusing our attention on each other. It affects how we use our time together, and there are 3 words each beginning with the letters com, which come from the Latin meaning together, which describes the effect of quality time. And I just want to start out, I want to tell you this is the funniest thing. Even though it's my primary love language, of the 2 of us, I have the hardest time stopping the rest of the world and focusing my attention on my husband. So even though it's the thing that I need most from him, I really have the hardest time just shutting down. I work from home, and my office happens to be in this little corner of the living room, and you can tell I'm out of the office when the roll-top desk is down, but getting that desktop down is really hard for me. I've got email distractions and phone distractions and all kinds of things. So even if it's your primary love language, doesn't necessarily mean that it's the easiest for you to allow someone to speak to you either, so keep that in mind. The first com is communication, and this means literally making common between us our thoughts, ideas, feelings, fears, hopes, and disappointments. So we stopped sharing, one thing with Todd and I is that we stopped sharing quality time together. We were sharing quality time, just not with each other. We were taking our time and we were actually spending it with our friends and our family instead of with each other. When you take time and you're spending it with someone else, you're really taking away time to communicate with each other. And that was really something that Todd and I want to tell you, we're going to talk a little bit about what we used to do and a little bit about what we do now. By not spending quality time together, it really suffocated our marriage. And we ended up punishing each other. Todd was talking about punishing me for not giving him physical touch, but I would do the same thing. I would punish him for not spending time with me by not showing affection to him. And of course, we didn't have all this terminology when we started. We just kind of did it it was kind of the natural thing to do. So it's really important that no matter what your love language is, that we need quality time to be able to express to one another our thoughts and feelings. Companionship is the second com, and it comes from the Latin for taking bread together. Mealtimes present some of the best opportunities for quality time, and we need to make use